Didn't I tell you to stay away from the fence?
I was nowhere near it. It's that dog. He's crazy.
Hey, mind what you say. He's sensitive to negative criticism.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Hello and welcome back to Arcanum Gaming. My name is Richie. Today we're jumping into our second episode here of Broken Sword, The Smoking Mirror. Last time we jumped straight into the action, going over to the professor's house it was. Nico got kidnapped. We managed to narrowly escape getting eaten by a giant poisonous spider. Or bitten by it, at least. And now we had just talked to the detective and to the waiter here. And I think we're probably done here at the cafe. Oh, no, we got new questions.
I'm trying to find my girlfriend. She's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, it was our first day back together after many months.
That's too bad. My God, that's depressing.
I grabbed the flask and was struck by a powerful smell of absinthe, a highly potent and illegal alcoholic drink.
We stole his absinthe?
Excuse me.
What?
What's that you're drinking?
It's wine.
Well, the waiter said it's absinthe.
That fool wouldn't know Pernod from cat's piece.
I'd been looking forward to seeing my girl, but she wanted to rush off to see some professor.
I see. And you think she's having an affair with this professor?
Look,
No.
forget it. It doesn't matter. Do you miss being a gendarme?
Yes, of course I do. When I wore that uniform, I commanded respect. Not anymore.
So we keep getting him to cover his
Excuse
eyes.
me.
That must have been just
Leave
to
me
steal the
alone.
flask. I don't want to talk anymore. Anything else to say to the waiter?
You need anything else?
There was nothing I wanted to say to him.
Alright. Let's
Now I
leave,
had
guess.
another lead. I could either go back to Ubier's house or visit the Glee's gallery.
I don't see any reason to go back to the house.
The Glee's gallery had style and class, but very few customers.
Interesting.
It was the flask of absinthe I'd borrowed from the gendarme.
Wonder what we're gonna need to do with that. This guy looks kind of shifty over here. Is there anything to interact? I mean, we can look at these.
The pots were protected by a glass case. The wasteland. Too minimalistic for too much money. I didn't think much of any of these artifacts. Rectangles in a desolate landscape. Highly cubist. The pots were protected by a glass case.
There's a couple of people over there to talk to. There's this suspicious looking guy drinking. This guy with very interesting posture.
The glass stopped me from picking up the exhibits. Spheres in a barren waste. Oh, very profound. I could see a pattern emerging in this artist's work. I had no possible use for a credit card reader.
Credit card reader.
Excuse me, sir.
Uh-huh.
That area is private.
Oh, so I'm not allowed back here?
No, sir.
Interesting.
Are you Mr. Glees, the owner?
Yes, sir. May I help you?
You're English?
These days one prefers to think of oneself as European.
Sure. Whatever you say.
And how precisely may one assist you, sir?
I'd like your opinion on this pot.
Interesting. Would sir be interested in selling the article?
That depends. How much would you give me for it?
300? Possible 325?
I'll think about it.
Interesting.
What I really wanted to ask you about was a black stone.
A black stone?
Yeah, it's a Mayan artifact, about as big as my hand.
No, sir. One doesn't get much call for black stones. If it's Mayan artifacts you're interested in, I have some rather exquisite pots.
Yeah, I noticed. I've already got one of those. Have you heard of Professor Ubier?
Of course. His name is synonymous with Mayan art. A number of these artifacts were supplied by Ubier himself.
I suppose you have an import license for these relics?
Of course. But that's not my problem, sir. The professor arranges all the shipping. We simply collect the items from the docks.
Do you get many Central American Indians in here?
No, sir. This is Paris. Central America is several thousand kilometers southwest of here. Straight across the Atlantic Ocean and turn left. You can't miss it.
Well, as it happens, I saw some Central American Indians this very morning.
Tourists, sir. Paris is full of them at this time of year.
I found this news story referring to a total eclipse of the sun.
Really, sir? Well, fascinating.
Could you tell me which docks Professor Ubier uses to import the artifacts?
Good God, no. I can't possibly reveal my commercial secrets.
Who's that guy over there?
That's Mr. Lane, sir, the critic. I'm hoping he'll give the gallery a favorable write-up. One has to be so patient with these critics. Lure them in with the correct bait, watch for a bite, then play them like a fish.
Well, he's certainly drinking like one. Do you believe the story that Ubier murdered his wife?
If it was true, who can blame him? She was an opportunist tramp. Well, that's what I heard.
Have you seen any of Ubier's wife's films?
Only one. Believe me, I was appalled, shocked, disgusted, and repulsed.
Well, you sure got your money's worth. Last time I went to the movies, I wasn't even titillated.
Okay. Done with that guy for now, I think. Should we show him the bank statement?
I didn't think he'd be interested in that.
Guess not. Let's go talk to the critic.
You're Lane, the critic, aren't you?
Correct. Can't you see I'm busy?
Busy? Doing what?
Appreciating the art. Or depreciating it. I have a reputation to uphold.
I could tell this guy was going to be hard work. What's that you're drinking?
I'm not sure, but I have a suspicion it might be urine. Glees can't expect a favorable criticism of his gallery when he serves this muck.
Would you give me your opinion on this pot, sir?
Yes. Very rapouche.
Rapouche?
Hideous.
What the heck?
What the hell do you think you're doing? You smashed my pot.
Certainly, it was not only worthless, it was ugly and offensive.
To you, maybe.
Believe me, I was doing you a favor.
That pot you smashed belonged to Professor Ubier.
Did it really? I thought the man had more taste.
I wasn't going to waste any more breath talking to that pompous blimp. Maybe I could turn the situation to my advantage, and at the same time, get my revenge. The pot had smashed into too many pieces to retrieve.
What a
The pot had smashed.
jerk. Can I give him the worm or something? No. But I can't interact with this glass. I'm gonna put the absinthe in it.
I splashed a little absinthe into the glass and hoped he wouldn't notice the change of color.
Did you put something in my drink?
Yeah, I did. What do you think?
Well, it's certainly an improvement over Gleese's wine. In fact, I could grow to like it.
I'd had enough of talking to that slob. Lane doesn't think much of your choice of wine.
Lost it nerve. The priest who sold it to me said it was a good year.
That slob Lane just smashed my Mayan pot.
Yes, he can be rather impulsive.
He's drunk. If I were you, I'd throw him out before he breaks something.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Can I put more of it in his glass? Yes, I can.
Allow me.
Maybe we need to get him yep.
There was nothing worth retrieving from the mess.
And now he's distracted. Can I go back here? Yes. Does that help me in any way?
There was nothing in the case but styrofoam packing, but pasted on the side was the remains of a label.
Okay.
It was a sturdy packing case. The packing case contained nothing but styrofoam chips.
Okay, remains of a label, you said. Oh, there.
Underneath the logo of a flying bird were the words Condor Transglobal Mars. The rest of the label was missing. It was beginning to make sense. Oubier had organized Nico's abduction. Oubier withdrew money from Marseille. Oubier was connected with Transglobal, who shipped their goods from a warehouse in Marseille. That's how the torn Transglobal label had once read. Marseille, not Mars. It wasn't much of a lead, but it was all I had. I set off immediately to catch the evening train. It was almost dawn when I arrived in Marseille. I traced Condor Transglobal to a desolate dockside.
Desolate dockside, you say? A doggo. Not a happy doggo.
What's the big idea?
I don't know. The dog went berserk for no apparent reason.
He's trained to do that. The idea is to deter any would-be intruder.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just remember, he's a trained attack dog. A killer.
Somehow I doubt that. Do I have anything the dog would like? How about the worm?
That dog looked like he already had more worms than he needed. Here, boy.
Does he want the underwear?
He didn't look like a sniffer dog to me. Without a way of firing, I would never have been able to propel it fast enough to puncture the mutt's hide.
Interesting.
Ouch! That's hot.
It's the same trick as last
The
time.
panties would not have been thick enough to shield this level of heat.
With the worm. No? Okay. Anything over here to interact with? Not seeing anything.
Hi, good morning.
Do you know what time it is?
No, I don't wear a watch. As my dad used to say, I'm not into time, man.
Well, you're too early.
I have these very exotic panties.
Take them away, you pervert!
Okay.
Take a look at this letter.
That's sick. Did you write it?
Oh, no. No, it's a letter from my girlfriend's admirer.
If I was you, I'd smack him in the mouth.
Well, that's not my style, but thanks for the advice. Ever heard of Condor Transglobal?
Sure. They have a warehouse here.
Well, could I take a look?
Not until after the holidays. Come back in a month.
I have to make a delivery to Condor Transglobal.
Where's your rig?
About half a mile down the road.
And you walked here? Jeez, are you some kind of nut?
Nah, it was easy. I just put one foot in front of the other. Are you gonna let me make my delivery?
Not without the paperwork. You get the papers, you make your delivery, and I get a fat backhander.
I was getting nowhere with the story about being a trucker.
What time is it anyhow?
The big hand's on the floor. Why aren't you in bed?
I can explain everything.
Never mind, I ain't that interested.
What time do you open the gates?
7.
Do you mind if I hang out here till the docks open?
Please yourself, but you'll have a long wait. It's Sunday, and tomorrow is the start of the national holiday. Everything is closed for a month.
Well, wouldn't you just know it?
Does that dog belong to you?
Nah, it comes with the job. I just feed him every now and then.
More then than now, I'd say. What's the dog's name?
20.
It's unusual for a dog.
It's his registration number. Security dog number 20.
Does number 20 have rabies?
Nah, just a bad attitude. Like I said, he's a trained attack dog. They took him when he was a puppy and messed with his head to make him the way he is.
I'm looking for a young woman.
At the docks? What kind of woman do you have in mind?
You don't understand. It's my girlfriend I'm trying to find.
Well, I ain't seen her, and you should tell her. The docks ain't no place for a young lady. They're dirty and they're dangerous.
I'm certain my girlfriend was brought here when she was abducted.
What? Your girl was kidnapped?
Yeah. Struck down by an Indian with a poisoned dart.
A poison dart, huh?
I could tell he didn't believe me. This is the dart that the Indian shot at my girlfriend.
Sheesh. That's pretty weird, but I don't see why you'd expect to find her here.
Have you ever heard of Professor Oubier?
Me? None of my friends are professors or anything like that.
What's cooking?
Beans. You know a man can live on nothing but beans.
Not this one. Do you know what kind of business Condor's involved in?
I'm paid to guard the gate. Their business is none of mine.
Don't you ever get tired of eating beans?
Sure I do. What do you take me for?
And what's the alternative?
Peas. I can't eat them too often, though. They play hell with my digestion.
Have you ever considered changing your diet?
What's wrong with beans and beer?
You need me to tell you? You're pumping out enough methane here to fill a dirigible.
I gotta go now, but I'll be back.
Can't wait.
I decided I would not be able to pick a 5-barrel hardened steel heavy-duty padlock with a dart. It was 20.
Hey, 20. Hey, 20.
Didn't I tell you to stay away from the fence?
I was nowhere near it. It's that dog. He's crazy.
Hey, mind what you say. He's sensitive to negative criticism.
Sensitive to negative criticism, huh? Alright, let me see here. So, dog's name is number 20. So there's hot pipe and lock that we have to get through. There's an arrow pointing over here. Oh, it's interesting. There's junk in the water we can pick up.
The stick had a hook on one end. I figured it was a boat hook for hooking boats.
You don't say. Boat hook for hooking boats. Anything else in the water? Yes. It's the bottle the guy dropped. Can't reach it.
The bottle was just out of reach. Nothing was going to get me into that water if I could help it.
This must be that river that they swam in during the Olympics.
I just knew that boat hook would be useful for something. As for the bottle, even if I couldn't find a use for it, I'd cleaned up the dock a little. My arms weren't long enough to reach the platform.
Aha. Okay. I think I got it. Okay, so we lowered this platform on the other side of the... Alright, let's go back up top. Now we try to climb the fence. The guy walks out and then falls in the water? Maybe? I thought we lowered that platform.
Stay away from...
Must be a different platform.
My arms weren't long enough to...
We can raise it and we can lower it. Interesting.
Hey, 20.
Let's go ahead and save. And then let's go back up here. Dude is busy with his beans. Can I use this to grab the dog food?
No. I couldn't reach the documents. I'd better think this through. I couldn't reach the bucket. I couldn't reach that far.
Excuse me?
Huh? Who's there?
Interesting. Alright. We use the hook on the pipe.
You dropped your beer bottle.
Not me, pal.
Yes, you did. I saw you drop it right in the sea. Don't you know better than to dump your trash in the ocean?
I don't see no fish complaining.
See you later.
Alright, what's in the bottle? I forgot to look at that.
It was the beer bottle that slob of a watchman had dumped in the sea, now half full of filthy dock water. The label read, "Surge, the beer that clears your head."
Wrong, wrong, wrong.
No.
Wrong, wrong.
I don't. No. I couldn't reach the bucket. I'd better think this through.
Alright, let me try. So it's full of water, right? If we pour it in the pipe.
The bottle was half filled with water. Maybe it would cool the cone down enough to touch it. Now I could see into the pipe which formed the chimney.
Okay.
The bottle had blocked the chimney, and the hut was filling up with smoke. That chimney looked very exposed without its cone.
Alright, we chased him out of there. Take the dog food now.
The packet was full of dog biscuits.
How
Someone had
about-
once told me a piece of coal brought you luck. Who was I to argue with irrational superstition?
How about the worm in the beans?
No.
Can we take the beans?
Baked beans in ketchup. I couldn't think of one good reason to steal the watchman's kettle. That mug was a health risk. I decided to leave it where it was. Baked beans.
Yeah, I know, we don't want the beans. Do
That
anything to the
was
fire.
no good.
Can't close the door.
The box contained nothing but blank forms.
What box?
The box contained... I wouldn't have considered where...
We're gonna get in trouble if we go out this door.
What the hell do you think you're doing? Get the hell out of here.
Okay. Just hold on to that dog.
One piece of dirty coal is... No, I had to think of something else.
Alright. Back down here.
And what's the big idea of busting into my office?
I hope you don't...
You stay out of here, you hear? Otherwise the dog gets an early breakfast.
I wouldn't want him to change his eating habits on my account. Besides, I have brittle bones. He might choke.
Let me in, and I'll give you this lump of coal.
I got plenty of coal already. You always carry it around in your pocket?
I heard it was lucky.
Superstitious crap. I got a whole bucket of it in here, and it ain't brought me no luck.
See you later.
Alright, dog biscuits. Here you go, number 20.
Hey, 20.
Alright.
Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy.
Oh no. Don't tell me we have to do this to the dog.
Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy.
Guess not.
My arms weren't long enough to reach the platform.
Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy.
My arms weren't long.
Alright. Can we try climbing the fence now? Come on, dude. I need like 5 dog biscuits.
Stay away from that fence, asshole.
Thanks, you ungrateful mutt.
It was the metal cone I'd taken from the chimney of the watchman's hut. No. No, I had to think of something. I wasn't convinced that was the right thing to do. That wouldn't work. Not such a good idea. That was... I'd better think this... Wrong.
missing something here.
I couldn't reach the documents. That wouldn't work. That was no good. No. Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy.
I don't understand what we're supposed to do with this platform here.
The platform was held up by a hinged bracket. I couldn't figure out what it was for. Maybe it was part of a structure which no longer existed. It was the metal cone I'd taken from the chimney of the watchman's hut. I'd better think this. Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy. Hey, 20. My arms. I decided to keep the cone. You never know when a cone may come in useful. That chimney looked very exposed without its cone.
Stay away from that fence, ass.
It was a tall wire mesh fence.
Alright, folks, I think we're going to take a break here and probably call it here for today. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a nice day.